My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, by way of referencing, so you know where I'm coming from on this video. Excuse me. Um, I'm showing just some of the mind control murders. I wrote about mind control in a manuscript in 77, 78. The same year Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, near Marietta, Georgia, where I was doing the book called MD: A License to Kill. I was living at Moonraker. If you stop and think about the title of the book and where I was living, gives you a clue to some of this. Except the Brits in this are the good guys. Believe me, they're the good guys. I know. Been there, done it. Going to show these. I was filled full of antifreeze on April Fool's Day of '80 after receiving a letter from the U.S. Attorney in Atlanta, dated June the 23rd, which, by the way, is the day of my father's, King Edward VIII, the real one. His birthday is June the 23rd. This was 79, and with a letter from the FBI, U.S. Attorney Harper, I was filled full of antifreeze, April Fool's Day of '80, and should have died, gone into a coma and died. And it was a fiasco what they did. If you saw what they did to me there, I don't think most people, at least outside the United States, wouldn't, I don't think like it, believe me. Anyway, I was carried across the state line back to Huntsville, where I worked, passed a background check with my brain burned, trying to work and wondering if my children were going to be killed. Now that I'm giving you a background, Fred Simpson was the district attorney, Madison County, Huntsville, Alabama. Passed a background check and went to work for him. And you wouldn't, well, anyway, I can't go into all of it. It takes too much time, and I'm using it up already. I had written about mind control murders and doctors, and I didn't link doctors to organized crime, although they might have been. This is a quote from one of the papers when they wrote nothing but lies about me. And yes, they've known about this before I did. I found out about my kidnapping and who my father is in '83 when I ran in a political campaign to replace U.S. Congressman Larry McDonald. Plane went down. The KAL Korean was shot down when it veered out into airspace that belonged to Russia or the Soviet Union. This is August the 31st of '83. I was flown out to Flint. I didn't know him. I knew the guy that programmed him had been programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. I was flown out there, and I did not win the campaign. And by the way, Larry McDonald was not the good doctor. So, well, I was tossed from pillar to post and on the side of the road and couldn't get jobs after the ones in Huntsville, and I had brain damage. What else can I say? And I'm trying to find my sons, Mark and Scott. And this, I'm going to go ahead and show my father in this, and if anybody listens to the rest of it, or I've done enough videos. I've done Facebook, which, by the way, has been my whole phone, both of them, has been hacked. My Facebook's been hacked, and my Twitter account's been hacked in a bad way. The Facebook, I don't know. This is my dad, King Edward VIII, the one that they said married Wallace Simpson and abdicated and lied about him. Cold-blooded lies. And then his own brother, George, who became the illegal George VI, they put a 99-year seal on it to cover it up. My father did not marry this woman. My father was married to my mom. I was born in '39, kidnapped in '41 by these people. Roosevelt, my uncle, and the Kennedys. Joe Kennedy was ambassador 36 to 46 when they kicked him out, sent there by Roosevelt. So Wallace Simpson married a imposter, a double, and his brother, and the New World Order, the Freemasons, Illuminati, Trilateral, Rockefellers, Rothschilds. Okay, uh, I mean that they went through a whole bunch of stuff to do to my father. Take out my father and put a double, and my uncle helped take it down and helped kidnap me, bring me to Moulton, Alabama, and give me another name. Big Ann Bitsy Childers I married, and Peggy was a twin with Carl. Both twins were illegitimate, just as this monarchy is here, illegitimate. By the way, they named the baby George after William, his great grandfather, who helped kidnap me, his niece, the heir to the crown, Victoria II, and defame and lie. And no, it wasn't even my father that married Wallace Simpson. He's married to Claudia O'Keeffe, sister to American George O'Keeffe, the artist. And you have to wonder it's the cover-up. But back to now that I've given that, and you can see how this all goes. You don't want to see the real monarch up on the Appalachian Trail, freezing, starving, no toilet tissue, no clothes hardly, begging, eating food that a dog wouldn't eat when I can get it. I guess this is more appeasing to the eye. Anyway, this is, I wrote about mind control, and that's what I wanted to get into before the tape goes off. This is the one that the father said he wished he'd never been born, Adam Lanza, Sandy Hook. This is the Giffords, Tucson. I won't go into the patterns. These mind control murders were done in patterns by an agency of the government who deliberately did it, so I hope they tell it. Because really, who do you blame in it? The media is controlled by the Rockefellers, and every one of them. The media knew about my kidnapping before I did, and they know of the mind control murders. Uh, you know, they are the ones to blame just as much as anybody. This is the psychiatrist at Fort Hood shooting in Texas, and he finished college at Blacksburg, Virginia Tech, right next to me. I came up here in '86 and exiled to America, kidnapped and brought here. How in the heck did I get here? Kennedys fly me over. They were flying in and out to the embassy and taking it over. Had run of Great Britain after they installed their own monarch here. And this is the two young fellows in Boston bombing, and one's dead. He's on death row. They seek him the death penalty. I'm sure they'll get it for him. He's under mind control, and his brother was too. Now, they were from the Soviet Union. So I think I've shown it, and they're calling, he's a whistleblower, is he a hero or a villain? Well, if the truth's ever come out, you know it now, he's a hero. But it's the tip of the iceberg that he touched. Now then, about NSA, but the citizens of this country that are enjoying all the luxury and stealing and murdering that's gone on and pretending to be the good guys are the ones that really let it happen over the years. It wasn't enough to have a revolutionary war, is what they called it, and their independence. They went over and took over my country. They installed their own monarch, George VI, illegal, who signed treaties that allowed the United States military all over British, and then used it as a launching pad for global control for the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and part of the Windsors. How about that? Now that I'm